Welcome to a brand new Toontown tier list, everyone. Today we will be ranking the Toontown Trolley games to be found in all the servers except for the 2 new ones that TTR added. We will be covering those as well because why wouldn't I? I gotta stay up to date, gotta keep with the times because Toontown is such a relevant game these days. We're not gonna waste any time here. Let's jump into it with the very first game, which is the cannon game. The cannon game. It is such a simple concept, and something you'll learn about me very quickly is that simplicity is usually better. That, like, when you have a simple game that's nice and fun, very easy to understand, big fan of that. The cannon game has always been one of my favorites. It's so fun. There's only one thing that's keeping it from being S tier, and that's the fact that sometimes the stupid thing will spawn way too close to you, so you can't aim directional. You have to aim up into the air and go up in an arc when it's too close, because it's literally impossible to shoot into it without bashing your face against the side. So because of that, it'll go down 1 peg, but it's still going into A tier because the cannon game is just a blast. Very funny! Next, we have the catching game, which is... that's a yikes of a game. I've never been a fan of the catching game. The catching game is just one of those trolley games where it's like, if you're playing a server without a skip button, that's one of the ones that's like, oh, I really want a skip button right now, because who actually enjoys catching game? It's not one of the worst, but it's definitely pretty bad, pretty terrible. I can't even defend it enough to put it into C tier. Catching game is just straight up trash. I mean, F tier. It's gonna be F tier, not trash tier. We do have some trash picks coming up, and I bet you already know which ones those are. But for now, let's move on to Cog Thief. Cog Thief it's pretty cool. Banger music, absolutely, that's coming into account for some of these games. Weirdly enough, I'm actually gonna ignore TTR's 3D version because I actually prefer the original 2D version. The 3D just made it a little bit annoying, and especially with the gazebos, made it really hard to see where the cogs were coming from. I loved the simplicity, like I said, simplicity's good, of just seeing your 2D space and just being able to go around, see where the cogs are coming from, throw the pies. Very fun with multiplayer as well. I'm a big fan of that one. I'd say Cog Thief is a solid B tier for sure. Next up on the list, we have our very first TTR exclusive trolley game, Doodle Jump. That's not, no, that's the stupid little iPhone app. That's not, I didn't mean Doodle Jump. That'd be awesome. Hey, we should add, hey, Toontown Rewritten, add that as your next trolley game, please. Doodle Roundup is the game that they added, and it reminds me of like a Mario Party style game. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but it definitely feels very Mario Party. And I don't know, it's cool because like everyone's like, oh wow, new trolley game, so we automatically put it in S tier, right? No, I think it's alright-ish. It's kind of finicky. Like, getting the doodles to actually go where you want them to go is kind of annoying sometimes, and the AI is not amazing. I think it's a good addition, and if we ignore the hype of it being a new game, being honest here, I think it's C tier, honestly. I know, you might be like, oh, why? You hate Toontown. But no, it's just, you can't lie to yourself. It's nowhere near like the amazingness of some of these other games that we're ranking. Ice Slide is next? I don't know. Ice Slide is just, it's another one of those ones that's like, ooh, super fun with multiplayer, but it's also really finicky, and it's really annoying how you can't really do well, especially if you're playing with other people, where they'll just shoot their arrow right towards you and just go right into you and destroy you. You can't really prevent that, and there's no defensive maneuvers you can take and still get a good score, and the bouncing and ricochet is way too unpredictable. I think once again, we have ourselves another C tier pick with the ice game. Next is Jungle Vines, and honestly, Jungle Vines has never really been a horrible, annoying one to me like it is to some other people. Some people hate Jungle Vines. Some people think it's the worst thing ever, especially in DDL, where you have all the frickin' 4 spiders and all these bats flying through at Mach speed. Yeah, I can see how that's annoying sometimes, and that's why it's not gonna be like a high-ranking one. But I think Jungle Vines, it's definitely not as bad as people say it is, and I think it's a good enough to be a B tier. Maybe like a low B tier, like just getting out of C, but I think it just barely gets into B tier as one of the B tiers. Moving right along, we have Match Mini next, and this is one of the ones that people like to get sweaty at. People like to get super try-hard with Match Mini. They like mash their keys at the freaking speed of light. It's insane. And I feel like 80% of people who play this game are like me, where they'll do perfectly fine in the first 3 rounds, and then in the final round, they'll remember like the first 2 or 3 notes, and then they'll forget everything else and just completely mess up, because I guess that's how our brains work. I can't decide between B and C tier. I think it's C tier, honestly. It's not impressive. It's not very original. It's not toony. It's pretty stupid. I'm not giving it the credit it doesn't deserve. Next up, we have the maze game, and it's sort of in the same category as the catching game, where you get it, and it's like, ooh, I wish I could automatically skip this. So when you do have a skip button, this is one of the ones where you're usually gonna push skip on because low jelly bean count from even doing good at all in it. The flunkies are really annoying in how they hit you everywhere. Super stupid, super dumb. I honestly have to be real with myself and put this one into F tier alongside catching game because, like I said, it's one of the ones where once you get it, you just automatically want to skip and do something else. And now we have photo fun. Ha ha ha! Yes! What a great game. Thank you so much, Toontown, for adding this game. Thank you so much, Jesse Shell. It's kind of funny how certain Toontown servers, like Corporate Clash, for example, removed photo fun because of its notorious nature of being horrible. It's terrible. And you want to know the worst thing? You want to know the worst types of people in the Toontown community? It's not the people starting drama on Reddit. It's not the people leaving hate comments on creators' videos. You want to know the worst Toontown players? It's the people who, when you get
photo fun
in a server where you cannot skip the freaking game, they don't waste all their film immediately. What you have, it's literally the rule of the law. It's the rule of the Toontown world that once you have photo fun, you're supposed to spam click and get rid of all your photos. But some people don't do that, and those people can die in a hole forever. I'm not gonna even get into the fact that some people actually sweat this game too. People actually get into this and get good at it. I'm not gonna even get into that because you can't go lower than trash tier, and everything I already said puts it in trash tier. I'm so glad that Clash removed it, and I think other servers need to hurry up and follow in the footsteps. Photo fun isn't fun in the slightest. It's photo failure. My life. And things aren't getting any better because next we have the Toon Race game, which is just... It's funny, I demonstrated in my trolley trolling video with Coach E's Evil Twin how you can actually, if you have someone else with you, you can literally rig this game to where the other two people it's literally 100% impossible for them to win. Because if you just keep locking 4 and 3 as you and your friend, they have to do 1 or 2 to even move. If they do 4 or 3, they can't move. If they do 4 or 3, the person who, like, one of you or your friend will advance and you're gonna win no matter what. So you can rig the heck out of this game. It takes way too long. I would want to skip this one too. I don't think it's trash tier. I also don't even think it's F tier because this one's like a meme. This one makes me laugh, and laughter is fun. So like I can have a little bit of fun in Toon Race game just because of how stupid and derpy it is. So that brings it up to a C tier. That can bring it up to a C tier because it's super derpy, and that makes it fun in its own right. I'm not ranking on quality, I'm ranking mostly on just how fun it is to play. Next is Ring Game. Ring Game is very straightforward, simplicity, so I give bonus points for that. It doesn't give you very many jelly beans is the problem, but you know, it's cool to like go for that perfect bonus. You really like the idea of getting them all, something to work towards, and especially in like Berg and DDL, it's a fun one because there's a little bit of challenge to it. I mean, nobody likes the figure eights and everything, but you know, it's okay, and I think the okay tier is the B tier, so I think it barely edges out into the B tier once again with the Ring Game. And then we have the second game that Toontown Written added, which is the Among Us game that I can't remember the name of. It's Spotlight Search. Yeah, Spotlight Search. Everyone jokes about it being the Toontown Among Us update. It's really stupid, but the game itself, pretty good. I think it's a solid game. Once again, it has more of that Mario Party feel, and it's super cool. Like, whether you're the imposter or crewmate or whatever you want to call it, it's fun to go into this one, and I feel like there's actual strategy involved. It is simple. The concept is pretty simple, and it's very easily digestible and understandable. I like it. Pretty good game. TTR did a really good job with this one. Out of the 2 games they added, definitely the better one, so we're putting this right into A tier. And next we have the tag game. And any long-term fans of StuckTheDuck know, back in the original trolley trolling video, the tag game was the one that I wanted the most because with this game, ooh, it's very skill-based. You have to be good at maneuvering your toon. It's very fun. It's very it can be frustrating. It can be rage-inducing. It's a hilarious game. Tag game is so much fun. So much potential in that. Whether you're trolling, just having fun with friends, getting tons of jelly beans, it's awesome. Tag game easily goes right into that S tier spot, baby. Right into S tier. You cannot deny it. Tag game is... Ooh, that is peak Toontown right there. And now for Toon Escape. This one, is it even right to call this Metroidvania? It's sort of like, you know, 2D Mario platformer. It's the platformer. It's the stupid 2D platformer game that every little mini game collection needs to have. Definitely needs it, but I don't know. It can be fun. You can break the game by, if you get in front of everybody, you can get all the good stuff before anyone else has a chance to when playing multiplayer. It's annoying, but it's nowhere near bad. So is it a C tier or a B tier? C tier or B tier? I don't know. We could put it in B tier.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Now, this is another one that people are very familiar with, the Toon memory game, and this one's funny because this is like a bigger game. It's not one of those weird throwaway games, but this is another one of those ones where if you have a skip button, you want to skip it. Here's the thing. I do agree with that. I agree that if I have the option to skip memory game, I would. But I think memory game gets such a bad rep. It gets such a bad rep, and everyone's like, put it right into trash tier, right? Yeah, everyone's like probably thinking it goes directly into trash tier, right? No, it's not that bad. I think memory game is the one where people really give it a hard time. People just get way too upset about memory game because I guess the timer takes too long. I don't know. I think it's pretty easy to just go right through. You just spam the button if you want to get through it. You get a decent amount of jelly beans for it. It's not terrible. It's not as bad as people say it is. No way. Memory game, I will defend for. I will die on this hill and defend for it. I'm still gonna put it into F tier, but I'm putting it in F tier because it doesn't belong in C or above. Like I'm defending it because it's not trash tier, but I'm not saying it's a good game. It's still very annoying. I'm just defending it because it's not nearly as bad as everyone says it is. This is the kind of one that if I had a D tier on this list, it'd probably go into D tier because I think it's better than the catching game and the maze game. I think it's more fun than those, but it's definitely still a pretty bad game once you look at it. And then we have the Toon Slingshot game. Now, when I was younger, I loved this game. Like, you have to go for that really tiny spot, especially in DDL, the smallest little spot at the target. You get a good amount of jelly beans for that. It's very annoying, though, because bouncing in that game, when you're bouncing onto the target and trying to stay still, it's the most annoying thing in the world. I can't stand it. I don't like Toon Slingshot at all. This is the one that a lot of people like, but this one, as I've gotten older and played this game, Toontown, in my modern day, the modern experience, the non-childhood StuckTheDuck, it's trash tier. Yeah, it's as bad as Photo Fun. Okay, maybe it's not as bad as Photo Fun, but it's still in the same tier as Photo Fun because it's really sucky, takes way too long. It's not worth the jelly beans. It's bad. I just do not like it whatsoever. I would skip that every single time if I had the choice to. Oh, I hate that game. And then next we have Treasure Dive. And Treasure Dive? There is not enough good things to say about Treasure Dive. It is the pinnacle of Toontown goofy fun awesomeness. It has a very Mario Party feel to it. It can be rage-inducing, but in like the funniest way. And there's nothing like going for like 3 treasure chests. So like if you yourself could get 3 treasure chests, you are a Treasure Dive master. And I always go for those 3 chests. It's very fun to like really focus in on a trolley game and really try to get good at it. You get tons of jelly beans for Treasure Dive. Very fun. I genuinely enjoy Treasure Dive. It's awesome. I think it probably is the best trolley game. And obviously, if it isn't clear enough, it's going into S tier for that because heck yes it does. It and tag game, that is peak trolley right there. And last but not least, technically, it's kind of underwhelming of a last pick, but it is the Tug of War game, which I think is nice, quick, and easy, very simple. It could be a little finicky to get it going well. I think I'm gonna be specific here. I'm gonna ignore the time where you're doing Tug of War against a cog, even though that's the majority of the times you're playing this game. When you're on the trolley with like a group of people and it puts like 2v2 on the docks instead of any cogs being there, and sometimes it even does 1v3, but when you're going player versus player in that game, that's really fun. Like if you're in a voice call with friends, you're in a trolley game and you're with people you know, and you're going against them in the Tug of War, that's pretty fun. It's okay, it's very quick and easy. I think because of the whole like player versus player aspect of it, it's cool to have it in A tier. I think it belongs in A tier.
Oh my god, what is that?
And that, my friends, is the trolley game tier list, everyone. Now watch Toontown Rewritten add a bunch of, or Corporate Clash add a bunch of brand new trolley games, and everyone will be like, this is outdated. I can't believe you didn't rank this game that you didn't know about back in October of 2021. I have to say, for the sake of the meme, this is an undisputable list that is factual and cannot be argued against. Undisputable facts. But if you want to post your own incorrect version of the tier list, I have a link to this tier list in the description of this video, and I'd be happy if you tag me on Twitter or post it in my Discord, your version of the tier list, even though it is incorrect and wrong and against the facts of the world. So with that, I bid you a goodbye, and as always, see you in the playground, losers.